Okay, let's discuss some more objectives of our India's foreign policy. So we had seen few important objectives, and there are many important objectives for any country for preparing their own foreign policy. So in this way, we will look after our India's foreign policy. While maintaining friendly relations with neighboring countries, ensure that the defense and security of India is not affected. So while planning for the foreign policy, we need to take care that our country's independence should not get affected, not to compromise about the geographical boundaries of our nation, and also we not to compromise about our geographical territories or geographical boundaries while preparing or planning for a foreign policy. Next, protect the unity and integrity of the country. It is very much important. As we all know, our country's strength is in our unity. So we need to take care of it. Our government needs to take care of it. Correct? Protect the interest of Indian citizen living in other countries. Even the Indian citizen, those who are living in different countries. So government need to take care about those people also. They should get also their rights. This responsibility is fulfilled by the Indian embassies there. And in this way, Indian embassies help those people, right? The NRIs. Who are NRIs? Non-resident Indian. The people who are Indian, but they are not living in India, they are living in different countries. So they are helped by the embassies of those countries. Correct? To establish economic and commercial relations. What a commercial business with other countries for achieving economic development of country. It is very much important to grow country's development. We need a better relation with different countries. So in this way, we had planned our economic development in respects to foreign policy. So now we will look about the India's foreign policy, how we planned in the early phase, and now how we are going to carry our foreign policy. We shall take a review of India's foreign policy in two stages. The period from independence to 1990, the period from independence 1990, and after the period from 1992 till date. Because so many changes brought after the 1990. We had seen the global scenario change due to the end of Cold War. Even after the 1990, globalization became a big achievement for all the nation. It boosts the nation's development and economy. So there has been a great change in the scenario after the 1990. So we divided our review in two parts, from independence to 1990 and after the 1992 till today. Okay? We shall take a review of India's foreign policy in two stages. The period from independence to 1990 can be considered as the first stage, and second stage would be from 1992 till date. Okay? So let's begin with the early phase. First we will talk about the early phase, how we planned and what were the situation and what were the things that supported the India's foreign policy. India's foreign policy in early phase. Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru shaped India's foreign policy in the early period, and he is called as the founder of the India's foreign policy, or the pioneer of the India's foreign policy. From his point of view, his dedication gave a boost to our nation. He opposed colonialism through India's foreign policy. As we all know, we are the victim of colonialism. What is colonialism? When any power capture the territory of any other country or any other nation. So Britishers are called as a colonial power. They made us colony. So we know the pain. We are the victim of the colonialism. That's why Pandit Nehru decided not to support colonialism, not only in India, all over the world. He took an internationalist position and gave priority to global peace and security. We know the step he has taken of the non-alignment that proved a great change in the world. Three things influenced India's foreign policy in this period. And in this period, three things that influenced. What are these? First, we made an effort to understand all international events and development independently. It was very much important because we proved ourselves sovereign country, and we took all our decision independently without getting pressurized from any other country, without any pressure from any power. Peace has always been a central feature of India's foreign policy, and we always thought about the peaceful movement, to discuss, to decide, to collaborate in the peaceful manner. The threats from China and Pakistan, threats means danger, even from the independence also, we have a danger from China and Pakistan. The threats from China and Pakistan were also taken into account. Well, taken into account means taken care of that. We think in that way also, so that we prepared our defense system. We took help from the different countries. Even India had done the nuclear capability in our nation. One more feature of India's foreign policy at this time was the insistence of self-reliance. At that time, we thought about the self-reliance, that we should bring change. In the beginning, India decided to improve relation with countries in Asia. From the beginning itself, we had tried to bring a good relation in the Asian country. But at that time, most of the countries had collaborated or make the alignment with either America or the Russia. In the beginning, India decided to improve relation with countries in Asia. Efforts were taken to cooperate with Asian countries in order to achieve development and to keep our independence intact. Intact means present. This concept of regional development later expanded to include Africa as well. From Asia to Africa, we tried to expand our relations. But some Asian African countries participated in the military pact led either by America or the Soviet Union. But at that time, most of the African or Asian country had the military pact. Military pact is military agreement with either America or the Soviet Union or the Russia. This stopped the process of regional development. And in this way, we don't get much support from the regional development. After this, country of Asia and Africa, which did not participate in this military pact, supported the concept of non-alignment. And those country, those didn't supported the didn't have any military agreement with any of the country, whether Asia, America or the Russia. They joined hands with India and they supported the non-alignment. Peace and freedom became the fundamental principles of non-aligned policy. So peace and independence became the power or the important step for the non-aligned policy. In this period, India had to face conflict with neighboring countries. And in this way, India need to face the conflict with the neighboring country. What a conflict? Fight. Because there are some tensions between the India and Pakistan or the India and China. War happened between India and Pakistan over the Kashmir issue in 1947-48, then again in 1965, and due to the reason of India and Bangladesh, there was a war between India and Pakistan in 1971 because India supported Bangladesh to get freedom from the Pakistan. In the third war that happened in 1971, Pakistan broke apart and independent Bangladesh was created. As we all know the story, previously after the independence, there were two Pakistan, East Pakistan and West Pakistan. Then East Pakistan became Bangladesh and West Pakistan became Pakistan. And we supported Bangladesh to get free from Pakistan. That's why Pakistan attacked on us in 1971. So within a very short span of time, we had 3 wars with Pakistan. And we all know after that in 1999 also the Kargil war that happened between India and Pakistan. In the decade of 1970s, when decade, a period of 10 years is called decade, right? In the decade of 1970s, there came about some stability in India's foreign policy. India had risen as a powerful regional power in South Asia. So day by day, year by year, India proved to be an important country in South Asia. By conducting nuclear tests in 1974, India had also proved a nuclear capability, right? By conducting nuclear tests in 1974. Then in 1974, when India proved the nuclear testing, then it had been proved that India is also a nuclear capable country. By conducting nuclear tests in 1974, India had proved herself nuclear capability. From 1980, however, some changes began to take place in order to increase cooperation among South Asian countries. India had participated in the organization called SAARC. What is the full form of SAARC? South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So after 1980, India became the member of World Trade Organization. India became the member of SAARC, that is the South Asian Regional Cooperation. So these country or these organization proved helpful for India. Was established. India initiated dialogue. Initiated dialogue means had started a talk. Dialogue means talk or discussion to improve relation with China. India also started interaction with America for cooperation in the field of security. Even we had a big discussion with America to get a proper security or the defense system from the America. So let's discuss with the first stage of our India's foreign policy, that is from 1947 to 1990. Let's take a look of India's foreign policy from 1947 to 1990. India adopted the policy of non-alignment. Yes, we all know during the time of Cold War, we adopted the non-alignment. India adopted the policy of non-alignment in the context of Cold War. As a result, priority was given to maintaining friendly relation with all the nation to taking the help required for development from different countries. And during the period of non-alignment, it was very much important to support the country, to help the countries, those who take the help to get developed themselves. Due to the policy of non-alignment, India could get aid from both the superpower, and it was very much important for us since we didn't join any group. Then we got help from both the country. Aid means help. Imagine if India had a military agreement with America, then Russia became the enemy. And if we have a military agreement with Russia, then America became the enemy. But now we had a good relation with both the country. So that was the importance of the non-alignment. Correct? Even there was a lot of pressure on improving, strengthening India's defense because we had a pressure from China and Pakistan. So it was a huge pressure for our nation's security. The technology required for this was imported. Then to defend our country, we took help from the European countries also. Soviet Union, France and Germany helped India in this manner. And countries like America, Russia, Germany, France, England, they helped us to make a better defense system in our country. And even in this period, India has to face some challenges. This include the conflict with Pakistan. Conflict means fight with Pakistan, creation of Bangladesh and conflict with China. India proved her nuclear capability by conducting nuclear test in 1974. And in 1974, when we done the first nuclear test, we proved ourselves a nuclear capable country. Okay. Next, second stage from 1991 to till date. The situation all over the world became changed after the 1990 because the Cold War has been stopped and the restriction on trade and economy has been removed. India's foreign policy became more comprehensive. What a comprehensive, large, broad and dynamic. What a dynamic changing. In the second stage, in the post-Cold War period, the priority no longer remained to political and military relation. So after the Cold War, none of the country give priority to the military or the you can say the powerful nations. There has been a kind of equality. Several other dimensions like economy, dimensions in field, the different fields like economy, trade, education and technology got included in foreign policy. After 1991, India reduced the government controls over the economy and adopted the free market policy. Naturally, there was an increase in trade with neighboring countries. Our share in world trade increased. India's share in world trade also increased. Efforts began to be made to increase the rate of economic growth. And there were so many efforts taken by our government to increase the national income of our country. We already discussed these things in our economic development chapter, right? In the decade after 1990, again decade means a period of 10 years, after the 1990, our relation with the South Asian countries like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. became stronger. Due to globalization, we joined hands with many countries and the relation got improved. In the decade after 1990, our relation with the South Asian countries like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. became stronger. Our trade exchange with Israel, Japan, China, and European Union increased. Even the relation with China, Japan, or the European Union also increased. India began to participate in organization at the international and regional level. We have joined so many organization at the regional level or the international levels, like G20. G20 is a group of 20 countries, 20 important countries. India is a member of the G20. Even the BRICS. BRICS given the name with the initial of 5 countries. BRICS stands for B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South Africa. Right. So these are the countries that involved in the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. In this way, our relation with America strengthened. Mutual trust between us. India's status rose in the international market, international community. India's status, India's values increased all over the world. India's nuclear policy is an important part of India's foreign policy. We done the nuclear test, but we never give threat to any other country, right? It is also played very important role for the India's foreign policy. You must have studied the meaning of nuclear energy and its uses in subject like history, geography, or chemistry. So we had also learned the power of nuclear energy, and India never misused the nuclear energy. We had always done the better use of nuclear energy, maybe in electricity, medicinal field. Having understood the importance of nuclear power, India undertook the nuclear energy program immediately after independence. For this, we established the Department of Atomic Energy and Indian Atomic Energy Commission. We had set up some department or committee so that we will get well used of this energy. The first chairman of the Indian Atomic Energy Commission was Dr. Homi Bhabha. Even though electricity generation was the main purpose behind the program. So our main purpose for such program were the electricity generation. It also aimed at creating military capability. At a consequence means effect of this, India conducted her first nuclear test in 1974. India built nuclear weapons and conducted nuclear tests again in 1998. We have also made missiles carrying nuclear weapons, and the Air Force and the Navy had been enabled for carrying them. So we had made capable our Navy, Air Force, so that they could also carry such kind of missiles or the weapon. So in this way, we make ourselves powerful in the different fields. India is now a country which has nuclear weapon. We have accepted the role of a responsible nuclear power. India has been consistently supporting efforts for disarmament. Even we have a nuclear power or nuclear weapons, but we never used it, never misused it. Basically, we never threat any country, and we know the responsibility of being a nuclear power nation, right? And India has been consistently supporting the efforts of disarmament. Even we always supported for the disarmament. We know the meaning of disarmament, or destroying the arms or not keeping the much quantity of arms. We had limited number of arms, because it is India's position that there should be a peace and security in the world. Because it is our responsibility, we always take it in a priority that we should not create threat or danger for other nation. Having taken a survey of foreign policy in this way, we are going to study India's defense system. So in next chapter of the third chapter of political science, we will discuss about the India's foreign policy. India's defense system. In this chapter, we had discussed about the foreign policy. Understood what is foreign policy? How we had a good relation with other nation? Come on, let's have a quick exercise. First, this was the main objective behind establishing the Indian Atomic Energy Commission. The answer is, we have 4 options, and the correct answer is to enhance the military capacity. Right? Option A. Second, the following is now the objective of all the nations of the world. What is the objective of all the world? Economic development. Economic development is the aim of all the world. Correct? The dash is an important aspect of India's foreign policy. What is the important aspect of India's foreign policy? The non-alignment. The non-alignment is an important aspect of India's foreign policy. India conducted nuclear test in 1974 at Pokhran. Most of the movie has seen the movie Parmanu, right? So India does its first nuclear test at Pokhran. It's in Rajasthan. We all know that. Explain the reason whether the following statement are true or false. First, Pandit Nehru contributed towards improving Sino-Indian relation. False. It's a false statement. Who's contributed a lot? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay? The correct answer is Atal Bihari Vajpayee contributed towards improving Sino-Indian relations. Second, Atal Bihari Vajpayee took lead in improving relations with Pakistan. True. It's a correct statement. During the tenure of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he had a dialogue with the Pakistan to improve the relation between India and Pakistan. Explain the following concepts. India's foreign policy. On the first page of the chapter, we have the concept of India's foreign policy. On the page number 67, you have a detailed answer of the India's foreign policy. Then national interest. On the page number 65, we have a topic called national interest. World peace. What does it mean by world peace? There should be peace all over the world. In the way we propagate, we relate with the world, there should be peace with the nation. On page number 65, we made an effort to understand all international events and development independently without any pressure from any power. Peace has always been a central feature of India's foreign policy. So in this way, India always tried to maintain the world peace, right? Even whenever there is a problem, we negotiate in peaceful manner. What is your opinion about the fact that world peace is threatened due to the nuclear preparedness? So you should give your own answer. Due to the nuclear preparedness, because due to nuclear preparedness is due a competition between the countries, so it also affects the relation of the country. So it is a kind of harm to the nations. Answer the following question in brief. On what principle is India's foreign policy based? So what are the principles of India's foreign policy? We have on the page number 67, India's foreign policy, right? Who has contributed to improving Sino-Indian relations? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. On the page number 67, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee contributed a great deal to improving Sino-Indian relations. Write the objectives of India's foreign policy. On the page number 68, we have the objectives of India's foreign policy, right? Next, prepare the following chart. It asks factors affecting India's foreign policy. So we have given 5 factors: geographical location, political system, economy, national leadership, and administrative factors. So these are the 5 important factors that affects the India's foreign policy. So in this way, we completed our chapter. Okay, please go through the chapter. Understood it? Any doubt? Mark it. So we will discuss it later. Thank you. Thank you everyone.